Hello again, Nissan lovers. So we got another weird looking vehicle that I never knew about. Only collecting diecast cars is teaching me about this. We have a TLV Volume 3 of the Ogikubo Damashi. I'm just guessing that's how you pronounce it. I don't know for sure. Alright, never really says a copyright on the back. I don't know why they do that. It's strange that they just leave it blank. So there's some sort of story here about something. It's got some specs here, but I actually pulled up the Nissan website. As usual, I'll complain about me having to purchase this giant box and then it's just going to get thrown out anyways. You know, it's just a shame. I think the price could be reduced if I didn't have to buy that. You know, all this extra cardboard. Okay, in the trash that goes. We can see here on the website here, this is considered a minivan. It's from 1984 when it first came out. I guess body code JWG. And this thing has a 4-cylinder inline, 1.8 liters. It's making around 100 horsepower. Sorry, I gotta get tape together. Strut suspension, 13-inch wheels. I always find the wheel size interesting because, you know, today's modern vehicles just have giant wheels that actually don't make sense for performance unless they're like carbon fiber wheels. First generation Prairie was a pioneer in the RV market. It led to today's popular minivans. Okay, front engine, front wheel drive design. Oh, both rear doors slide like a minivan or like a real van. It's also an 8-seater. That's kind of crazy. It seems like a small vehicle that's capable of holding 8 seats, depending on the seating configuration. Alright, let's take a look at these photos here. Look at those funky mirrors, the fender mirrors. They look weird, but functionally it makes a lot of sense because it reduces the angle of reflection. You don't have to turn your head so much, you know, you just look out your windshield and you can see what's in your blind spot. So what do you guys think? Pretty vehicle? I can't say this is an attractive vehicle, but I'm sure it's quite practical. So I have a minivan myself. That's what I drive. So okay, let's take a look at this guy. First, I want to know how old it is. 2015. So yeah, 5, 6, 7 years old, somewhere in that ballpark. This original casting. Standard tires here by TLV, I think. For a second I thought they were plastic. No, they're rubbery. What I do like about their tires is the tread blocks are very small. So from the side, they look like normal car tires. They don't look like they're off-road tires. Oh, I'm pretty sure there's going to be paint rash. But hopefully not. This blue, it looks metallic. Or is it? It's a very light blue. And yes, it is a very light metallic. The flakes are very small. But unfortunately, yes, you can see the paint rash has developed already. So that is too bad. That's just the way TLV goes. Alright, they printed this white over the sky blue, and it seems to be getting into most of those door cuts, so that's pretty good. The door handles themselves are really nice. I don't know if that's a separate piece, because you can see. That's interesting. You can see a little bit of the body color behind. I don't think that's actually accurate. Looking at the photographs, this should all be black, actually. They just didn't get enough black in there. This is all good. The wheels, yeah, they're blanked off. But they're very... Well, I guess I can understand on this design. The holes are so small. Although I do wish they had some black paint in there. I mean, this is black on the real car. This is suspension there, being a car from TLV. Alright, let's go around to the front here. Very typical Japanese economy car looking thing here. The headlights are great. Look at the light bucket with the little bump there for the light bulb. And then the clear lens is very nice. And then, sadly, this is actually painted. You know, I would have guessed they would design that so it carries over and has translucent plastic, but no, it's black and orange paint. Orange paint here as well. Blank license plate. A couple of rivet marks here. That's interesting. Alright, going to the hood here. Well, this is interesting. I think that, yeah, there's actually ribs on the vertical surface. This might be the first casting I've ever seen that has ribs on the vertical surface of a hood depression like that. Usually it's just painted black, right? You know, these wiper blades are just painted on. They're not dimensional, which is too bad. This side here, boy, it's not bad, but it's a little paint rash. Okay, so there's a silver stripe going around here. I just don't know if that's in the right location. I kind of feel it should be a little bit lower. Like this surface here should be silver, but it's blue. There's some black paint on the casting for the window molding there. But not really on these windows. Seems, well, oh, it's interesting. Fuel filler, it's got a tiny little printed on lock, so that's kind of neat. And then we have separate plastic bumpers, which is nice. They're just black. The clear taillights are nice, you know, good separation of the orange, the red, and the white backups. JWG, alright. And then a blank plate, and some sort of key. And then Prairie and Nissan are legible, so that's good. The printed on wiper blade, at least it carries over down here, so that's realistic looking. It's just, you know, doesn't feel realistic being flat. A little bit of black or something around the window molding, so that's good as well. Tiny exhaust tip, which is part of this base, this metallic base. So all in all, not so bad actually. Yeah, it's just a paint rash problem with this brand. You know, I kind of expect something that's 5 years old to last. I see people unboxing Matchbox and Hot Wheels that are 20 years old, and no one ever seems to complain about the paint rash from those guys. So, but I gotta say, you know, this is still a nice looking model of a really quirky or goofy, I don't know. It's the cabin is so tall, like this side glass is almost as tall as the door. The proportions of it are really interesting. It almost looks like it's from the 1970s, but it's clearly from 1984. Alright, well, let's pull out one of the spin machines here compared to a couple other models. And I seem to drop that there. Sorry, let's get this thing started. Alright, so what to compare to? You know, this is such a unique vehicle. I have this Honda City, which is a small boxy vehicle, but obviously much smaller, no way capable of holding 8 people. You know what? I didn't even talk about the interior. So let's back up. Let's put the City aside and do a quick little excursion on the interior of this guy. I feel I'm still gonna have to get the flashlight here. Alright, so it's a light gray. Well, it's a medium gray color, so that's nice. And you know, you can see details a little easier than usual. I'm just looking if there's a different color in there. And let's try to see the dashboard. Looks like there's some vents and a radio in the middle of the dash. The binnacle is very square. Yeah, that looks like a Nissan instrument cluster from the mid-80s. Yeah, and then the seats have a lot of ribbing. This one apparently can hold 8 people. I think 3, 3, and 2 is the seating configuration. So, and then yeah, you got this post here in the back, kind of like a Hot Wheels. I was watching Champion DJ K's channel. I forget what brand it was, but they also had a post, and he was kind of irked about that, and I agree. I kind of wish they had a tab system, you know, where maybe this white license plate was actually part of the base and it hooks in that way. You know, a lot of other brands do that kind of stuff, so it would be nice. But it would, again, and then if they switched over to screwed bases, you can modify and add some nice wheels or repaint the interiors. That would be sweet. But again, this is from 2015, so hopefully maybe in the future they'll change their ways. Alright, so it's better than a, you know, just a plain black interior that you'd expect on like this Kyosho, you know, because It's just nice to see some different colors. Alright, let's see, what else do I have? This is kind of boxy. So I just did a review of a Fiat Panda, and there's a Kyosho Fiat Panda. And why not? This is the one I just reviewed, the TLV Panda. So they're very small cars. Being a minivan, I suppose we should pull out this TLV. What is this thing? A Subaru Sambar, I think? And that's got the funky kitchenette in the back. I actually leave it like that in my display case. So that time around I don't mind opening panels because that's how I display it. Here's a little K-Class car. It's a Daihatsu Tanto Custom, and this is by Doyosha, a brand. They don't really do too many scale models. There's a top view. So it seems like the Prairie is the biggest of the bunch still. Alright. And you know I like to bring out the standard van. The Baracus is 18 van, and this is made by Greenlight if you're new to the hobby. Still available everywhere, so definitely worth a buy. And yeah, so the Prairie, I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised the Prairie is actually this big. I just assumed it was going to be really small because of its almost cartoonish proportions. Alright guys, well, I appreciate you watching this time. Things to take away, yeah, if you get a TLV, open it as soon as you can. It'll help the metal breathe and prevent paint rash. And if you buy an old one, you just gotta expect that it's gonna have paint rash. That's my experience. But this is what I'm willing to live with now. It's funny, when you enter a hobby, you have all these high expectations, and then you're shocked by the prices of things, of any hobby that is. But the longer you hang out, the more you're willing to accept certain shortcomings, and then prices just kind of become normal. Those insane prices from when you started collecting seem, oh, that's okay now. So that's just my experience. Maybe I'll do a different video for newcomers to the hobby. Let me know if you want to see such a thing. Alright, thanks for watching guys. I'll see you around. Bye.